3 Elise.
And my name is Brian Alexander.
And this is Bitch Let's Talk. So before we get started into Pop Tart World, I want to make a quick announcement about what's happening March 31st. So BLT is actually going to be hosting a free credit repair seminar in Towson. So if you guys can make it out, it's going to be a lunch and learn. So you get some free food and free information. So if you have any questions or you want to get tickets, we are on Eventbrite, or you can just email me directly at bltpodcast17@gmail.com. So for Pop Tart World this week, Tiffany Haddish will be starring in a Tyler Perry movie. It's really funny to say that in the same sentence. She is going to be in a movie called The List, and it's about a woman who's released from prison who helps her sister realize she may be getting catfish. Also starring in it will be Amari Hardwick from Power and Tika Sumpter. I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel?
I don't feel about it. I actually think Tyler Perry is he did what he did for the culture. He made like really funny plays and stuff like that, but I'm not a fan.
You're over it now?
Yeah.
It's just weird. Like I feel like he progressively got worse.
I feel like the writing is bad.
It's so cheesy.
It's like horrible. It's so many good actors. Like I was watching today when I was getting my hair cut, that movie Why Did I Get Married? That was literally on in the barbershop, and I'm thinking like, dang, this movie could have been so great if the writing was a lot better, if the actors was like up to par. Put Janet Jackson in the movie. Why would you do that? You know
What do you mean? You don't like Janet Jackson?
I did not like Janet Jackson in that movie. I thought the only person that shined through that film was
Tasha.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's why she's an acting coach, but yeah, that makes sense.
I thought she did amazing.
Tyler Perry. I think Why Did I Get Married was pretty good.
Why did he cast himself in this film?
It's just one of those things, like a Sweets Beats type of thing. Like, why do you rap on songs that you can't rap on? It's just almost like, because I create them, I should be a part of it.
No, you shouldn't. I feel like Tyler Perry should just do the writing, pay these people, and then just like get out of there. Like sit sit in your chair and just direct and make sure things are going well. Don't cast yourself in your own movie. It's
an ego thing, because it's like I created. I really do think so, because it's like I created. This is my studio. This is my writing. I should at least get a cameo, at least.
Well, big ups to Tyler Perry for this film with Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, he was smart to snatch her up really quickly.
I mean, yeah.
And I'm so proud of her, because I know she has this, and she also has The Last OG with Tracy Morgan, which is going to be on TBS.
Is gonna be hilarious.
I just watched the commercial today, and I was like, oh, this shit is going to be actually really funny.
I think I know Tiffany Haddish is going to shine, so it doesn't matter if she if she's partnered with Tyler Perry.
I feel like because she is a true comedian, I don't think it's going to be too clowned out, and I feel like I'm praying that it won't be too clowned out.
Let's not put unrealistic expectations on something that we have not even seen a smidge of.
Yeah, well, he has that new movie coming out with Taraji Arkami? Acrimony, thank you.
Which is another wild script that I don't.
So I was watching this article, and they were saying that Tyler Perry like really batters the black man, and I don't know if I didn't think about it that way, but all of his movies, the black men are depicted horribly. Besides Daddy Little Girl.
In A Family That Prays, a man threw babies out of a window.
No, that was for colored girls.
I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, that was... I've never watched the movie, but I've always held on to that, like, one clip that I've seen.
But to be honest with you, I think...
It's ridiculous.
No. Michael Ealy did that shit, and I kind of looked at him differently. I was like, oh shit, he be throwing babies out the window.
But that's what I'm saying, to paint that picture into someone who... Tyler Perry is a black filmmaker. To paint that picture into, like, viewers' minds that, like, sometimes in some black families, there's this guy that throws babies out of windows. Hell to the fuck ass no. That does not happen. It doesn't. Tyler Perry, I was like, I was so disappointed in that film, because I was like, wow, this is some of the elements of the story was really like, common, like those things do happen.
Yeah.
But then it just like, I want to say like maybe 50 minutes into the film, it just take a quick ass laugh And it's like all kinds
I feel like he wanted to be dramatic
crazy.
because it's funny because like some years ago I was dating this guy and he would always say like movies
You
are
would
just
not
too.
dating a guy. Oh, okay, cool.
No.
You would not date a guy that would like.
No, throwing babies out? No. No.
Yeah,
No, but we were talking about certain things that were like off limits, and that was one of the things, like, you know, you'll never see a baby like die.
Yeah.
Like will be murdered, I should say. Like, and so
Explain to me how you guys got on this conversation in the first place. Because, like, what do you mean things that's off limits? Like, he said you will never see a baby die. Is he the one that's never going to kill a baby? Because why is he even thinking about that?
No, we were watching like a scary movie, and we were talking about how phony movies are,
Right.
and he was like, if I made a movie, I would make the most outlandish shit ever, and I was like what? And he was like, I would show like a baby getting killed, and I was like, what?
I feel like it's a really, really artsy way to show it because I just watched a film where a baby got killed. Black Mirror did a good.
This fucking show is amazing.
I
But
don't want to
yes,
spoil it for no one, but like
No.
Black Mirror, there's a baby that dies in one of those episodes, and it was done in like the most.
tasteful way.
Tasteful way,
It
yeah.
was a tasteful way, but I digress. Tyler Perry, I hope you do good. The movie is supposed
Big
to
ups
release
you, Tyler.
November 4th of this year, so I
Hosting tickets. She has.
know the fuck I am.
Make sure you email her at that email address that she provided earlier. She's gonna take.
I am not taking anyone to see a Tyler Perry movie. That will not be on my conscience. Maybe
I'll put $20 into that. Like, I'll sponsor one person. To go
no.
see this film.
I will sponsor a person to see Infinity Wars. I am not sponsoring a person to see a
No,
Tyler
I'm just
Perry
saying
movie.
The end credits of Black Panther.
You are stupid.
And I saw it
Stupid.
twice.
Twice, and you fucked up 2 times.
So the first time I was a little intoxicated, so I had to leave.
Who watches a Black Panther movie lit? Brian does.
Who
Okay.
goes to the movies and don't have like food and drinks?
This is the type of movie you sit and watch and like pay
The
attention.
Rotunda is a very nice place.
It is. I can't sit in there because I'll sleep. It's like so comfortable.
People go to the movies and fall asleep. I just don't know. Get a good nap before you go to the movies.
Look, if you got leather couches that recline all the way the fuck back to the point that I
First
can
of all,
cuddle
you
into
can
a
sleep
ball,
on
I'm
them.
going to sleep. Like, no. If I can just get like a baby recliner with my legs going out, I'm up. My blood is still circulating.
You don't
If
even
I
need a recliner for that, your little baby legs.
shut the hell up. But if I can recline, my back is like flat,
Yeah.
and I have a blanket.
Yeah.
Nothing good comes from
When
that.
you took a blanket to the movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I take my plush
Wow.
blanket. Why are you not hip to this? I'm
'Cause I would never
cold.
think to do that. Is what
But
I'm
you
saying.
think to bring fried chicken in, but you don't think to bring in a damn blanket.
I've never had fried chicken in the movies.
What did you have?
I ordered what they had.
Oh,
at the
you
movies.
okay? You're not that guy.
Not that guy at all.
Okay, but I do like the Rotunda. It's nice.
They have great wine, by the way.
No, I didn't have wine. I don't know
I'm
what I
just
had.
telling you that they have great wine. I'm not telling you that you had. I'm just telling you that they have great wine.
I can't drink liquor from a movie.
What?
Nah.
I even drink like at Towson, like the
That's a
little,
little bit
you know, I get the VIP one and just like.
I just bring my own. I know
you
for
bring
sure.
your own liquor to the movies.
Yes, and I bring my own
Nothing wrong with
food.
that. You bring now. Food is crossing the line.
Is it?
Like yes.
Normally, like, if I go to across the street and get some bang bang shrimp, I can't eat all of it. So I'm gonna wait, put it in my purse, and eat the rest of my bang bang shrimp in the movie theater. So
Let's just move past. Let's move past.
I don't like your judgment face.
I'm not judging you. I'm just.
I don't
saying.
like your judgment.
I've never tried it.
What? We'll try
They should
it.
start checking for food.
Well, they're starting to do that at Cinemark movie theater. So I'm doing Towson, so you're not allowed to bring really big bags in, which is stupid because now you're just gonna have everyone go to AMC. So stupid on you. Sad news. Rest in peace to Craig Mack, who passed away. He was 46 years old. He was the first artist to release a hit from Bad Boy Records, and my favorite song was Flavor in Your Ear, especially the remix. And he also had get the song Get Down. So he was living in South Carolina. He was like completely off grid. He did a couple of rap songs, but it really wasn't like on the charts. But it's sad because he was only 46 years old. Like, Black people, take care of yourself. Like, work out, stop eating so much pig feet and pork and fried chicken. Like,
What did he not do? Oh, a heart attack.
just heart failure. I don't necessarily know it was a heart attack, but something was clogged. So
I don't know who this person is.
you don't know who Craig Mack
That
is?
everybody, for the record, everyone.
What are you, 7?
Everyone just turned sharply and looked dead at me right now. I do not know Craig Mack. I
Here
know that
comes a
song.
brand
I
new
know that
flavor
song.
in your ear.
I know that song. I know Craig Mack's voice for the record. But
I mean, I'm not saying you know him personally, like y'all grew up in Bed-Stuy together. I'm just saying.
Looks like. It's what I'm saying. I don't know who he is.
But you know his voice?
Yeah, that's it.
He's a black rapper.
Okay.
You want me to show you what?
No, thank you. I'll just Google as soon as I leave here.
Okay, fine. But it's really sad because you have other rappers who are dying in their 40s, you know, and it's just due to kidney failure, heart failure, liver failure, and it's like all that drinking and drugs, you know, you have to eventually put that shit down and start taking care of your health. So
well, maybe he was just, you know, living his regular life and he just had a random heart thing.
I heard he was in the cult, actually.
He was in a cult?
He was in a cult.
Wow.
Doing what?
I don't know.
Maybe they killed him.
Did you hear about, did you hear about Rick Ross being in the hospital?
Yeah, about his seizure. So from what I heard, which is hilarious to me, is that he had a lot of fun with some strippers, and they were popping like Molly's or something. And then some people, he suffers from seizures, so I don't know if he's epileptic or anything like that.
I'm sure they wouldn't.
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily. I got multiple stories on Rick Ross, but they did say he was recovering and doing better.
They said he died. That's number one.
They always kill people
They always
off.
kill people really quickly.
They kill every black person off. It is hilarious
You want
to
to
me.
know facts? Just go on Twitter. Like, somebody is tweeting all the time. Like, that's where I get all the fast news. Like,
oh, I'm not even on Twitter.
and the truth.
I mean, I have a Twitter, but it's too much for me.
Twitter, I'm getting in there. Like, that's like
It's too much. I'd just rather just IG or something. Or just text me. The fuck? I don't even want to be on social media.
somebody on Twitter text Sarita when things go wrong. Send her the truth.
That's absolutely fine. So rest in peace to Craig Mack. I send our condolences to you, your loved ones, and your fans.
Yeah.
So Jay-Z and Beyonce are doing their On the Run Part 2 tour. Pre-sale tickets have already been sold out, which is crazy because you had to be a part of like this Beehive thing, and then you had to have Tidal in order to get the pre-sale tickets. And they officially go on sale to the rest of the regular people, the peons, on Monday. They said tickets are starting at $300, and the most expensive is like $3,000. If I'm paying $3,000 to see Beyonce, I'm laying on the stage. Like, I'm a part of the prop. There's no fucking way I'm paying $3,000. And I don't get to touch her hair. I should be able to sing a song to Blue.
You might get a background. It might come with like a backstage situation, maybe.
It fucking better. I better have like Tina Knowles make me a dress for my upcoming event. I'm not paying $3,000.
Tired from costumes.
There's no fucking way in the world that I'm paying $3,000. And I love Beyonce. Lord knows I do. I love Jay-Z. That's my favorite rapper. But ain't no way in God's green earth that I'm paying $3,000 and I don't have a part of the Knowles Carter movement.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like, officially.
You just bought your part of it. What do you mean? You are one of a lot of people.
Hell to the no. Not $3,000. $3,000? Oh, no.
If I had, I mean, I would definitely pay. Not $3,000, but
Oh,
I would
okay.
definitely pay for a ticket in the lower 300s.
So you want me to pay $300 to see her magnified on a television where I can just watch it on HBO?
Are they running an HBO special?
They should. Or they can do it on Tidal, like a streaming type of thing. That would be
That
smart.
works. That's not even work. So how can you?
Jay-Z, Beyonce, somebody who is listening to this, make sure y'all stream y'all shit. I will pay for Tidal.
Yeah.
Because that's what y'all want. Y'all want my money for these subscriptions.
I'll pay $60.
I would do that. Like, it's like paying like for pay-per-view. I watch bullshit ass fighters get beat up and pay $100. So why not watch Jay-Z and Beyonce?
For a fight that wasn't great.
I beg to differ. So,
But yeah, Beyonce.
I'm excited. They start the
actually think
tour
that's a good idea.
in Europe, and then their first tour over here is like July 25th, like the first start date. So
That's awesome. I actually think that that was probably a good move. They were kind of quiet for a while.
they're always quiet. I love the way they move though. Like,
Yeah.
she don't do too many interviews. She don't make too many announcements. Like, I really love her marketing PR
I wonder
strategy.
if everyone has to sign NDAs when they go see
Fuck it. Now Tiffany Haddish ruined her big mouth. And when she walked into a party, like, you gotta sign an NDA, you gotta sign an NDA. I'm actually not walking into anything without an NDA
Yeah, actually.
signature.
Yeah.
Probably.
I feel like it's safe. You know what I mean?
It is safe.
I feel like that it not only protects her image and blah blah blah, but it protects you.
Beyonce has been in the game for 20 years. I can only tell you what she already put out. Like, I don't know any secrets about Beyonce. I have no tea, like none. The only one thing that people say is that blue didn't come out of her vagina. That's it. Oh, and that she has halitosis. Beehive, don't come at me. These are not something I said. This is what the World Wide Web said.
Beyonce is like, you know what I mean? Like, she's gold. So why, if she did have halitosis, guys, why didn't she get this scraped out of her? Or like,
I don't know if that's something you can cure.
I don't. Okay.
Can you?
I'm gonna fact check halitosis.
But it is hard when you talk to someone and you're like melting. Yeah, that is nothing worse than hot ass breath. And you can't tell Beyonce that her shit stinks.
You better not.
Maybe you need to write a note to her assistant to get to her.
Maybe you just need to take it. Like, maybe you just need to just take whatever this woman is. It's halitosis. Fuck it, it's halitosis.
I think that's what's been happening. I don't see any more articles about it.
Like, I don't think you probably got to sign an NDA for that. Like, don't speak about this ever, or I'm suing you.
I have a condition, and you're not allowed to speak on it. So, for all the people that's going to the tour to see her perform, just let me know how it is. Give me a T-shirt or something, or stream it. Tidal, just stream it. Like, that's so that would be so fucking genius.
I'm sure they're gonna take people's like phones and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Kevin Hart and stuff like that. That sucks. If they just stream it and make money, like you said, like pay like a lump sum fee, like $60 or something.
I think that's a good idea to stream it, and I also think it's a good idea for them to take the people's phone because, like, I don't want to. If I'm not at the show, you know what I mean? Like, or what if I have a ticket for the show, but it's later? I'm already seeing everything that's happening on somebody's Instagram,
right? And it takes away from your experience, especially if it's your first one. So, shout out to Jay-Z and Beyonce just
I've never been
being
to a Beyonce show.
Please, what did you just say?
I've never been to a Beyonce show live.
How are you, like, alive? How are you living your life? How are you roaming through these streets unscathed?
I'll definitely try to get some tickets for this tour. I actually should definitely get tickets for this tour.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're halfway sold the fuck out. So you're probably going to, like, maybe just go to Europe and see her. I mean, it's probably sold out too. I don't know where to go. But they have it like all over, so maybe you can go to New Orleans or something.
Yeah, maybe I can see her in New Orleans
or Texas, because that's she loves Texas. So, oh well. So shout out to them, the billionaire couple. Please stream it. I don't know who can give this information to her, but please do it. So
just
I can
pray about it. Like God talks to Beyonce.
He does. I feel like he talks to her like frequently. Like he's just like right on her shoulder, like whispering things. So shout out to them. So for our Under the Radar story for this week, these are the stories that we do not get to hear or see on television. And so the United Nations peacekeepers have been having transactional sex with poor women in Haiti. They have had sex with over 225 women, and they have had sex with them for basic needs. So including their food, medication. There have been women who have tried to protest against them, and they actually do have a hotline available for them to report these type of incidents, but they have no knowledge of the number. They have kept the number away from them, and this has been happening over the last 5 years. It's just disgusting.
It's disgusting, but they have a hotline that they don't advertise. I think that's wild.
No, it's the hotline
the person who created that hotline is getting booty from them Haiti women. Like,
he's probably one of the transactional people.
One of those people.
Yes, and the women who like have like the badges and the names of the people that have been doing this assaulting. The people that have had the hotline, they've been keeping it away from them. So the issue is they have the information, is that they don't know what to do. Yeah. And so they have the names of the people that they can actually snitch on. They just don't know who to go to. So an investigation has already been put in place, but this has been happening for over the last 5 years, which is disgusting. Because it's like, you are the peacekeepers. You're supposed to be over there to take care of these people who are in need. And you're depriving them of their basic necessity of life so you can bust a nut? Like, what?
But what is their real, like, purpose there? They're peacekeepers, but they're not there to, give, reinforcements like food or like
They are.
That's what their job is.
Yeah, that's why they're able to have quote unquote transactional sex, because they have the resources to help take care.
They're not
of
able
them.
to have transactional sex, because if so, then we wouldn't have this conversation.
I mean, do you see me saying quote unquote?
Yeah, that's what they're doing this
right
wrongfully. Actually, it is a definite assault.
This is definitely assault. I'm saying transactional and quote unquote.
They can investigate.
I hope they all get locked the fuck up, and I hope that the United Nations really take care of this, because the whole point of them even going to Haiti is to take care of these people.
Shout out to you for this story though, because
that's absolutely
gross,
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I have heard nothing of this. That's why
you're not going to. And the thing about it is, like, that's why the under the radar story is so important, because we have to shed light on these stories that don't get any publicity, and so I send my prayers to the women who are over there literally fighting for their life just to be able to brush their teeth or be able to take a bath, just to be able to get a tampon, just daily stuff that we take for granted. And it's like, can you imagine you wake up and it's like, hey, you can't brush your teeth until you suck my dick. I can't imagine living in that type of space.
It's not funny. But
it's like, that's how fucked up it is.
Wild,
yeah, like you can't get this bar of soap until you come in this bed. Like, huh? Wow. And we take stuff like that for granted. So I pray that the United Nations, I don't know if they have some type of protesting or anything. I didn't see anything online, but you can write to United Nations, or I'm pretty sure they have a Twitter just like Donald Trump. And, we have to write to them or talk to their Congress, something, so we can get something changed, because that's disgusting. So,
thank you for that.
Absolutely. So for our Black Magic for this week, Italy elects the first Black senator, Tony Iwabe. I know I'm saying that wrong. Please forgive me. He is an immigrant from Nigeria. He's the member of the Anti-Immigration League Party, and the League Party is the second largest party in the parliament in Italy's general election. So they got a nigga in the house. It's just so shocking. Like, the first time ever.
Tony, though. That's
absolutely.
That's a big, I don't really know what goes down in Italy, but that is wild.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for the first time ever, they have someone Black in their parliament. So that's very important. He's going to be in charge of immigration, because a lot of times certain countries like Italy and just in Paris, and they have a lot of immigration things going on like we do, but it's actually a lot more that happens in Europe.
We need to really amp up our immigration situations, because there's a lot of people that are being deported and all those things. That these people are like necessary to our.
Absolutely, and I think because of y'all president, it has made it worse. He's not my president. I won't address him as such. And it's just really sad that we have all these immigrants, they don't have a place to go, and they're essentially fugitives. They don't really have a place to call their home because nobody wants to accept them. So it's really sad. But shout out to Italy, saying fuck the man, and we gonna get some person of color in here.
Come on, Tony.
Yeah, come through, Tony. Come through, Tony.
Real quick, he's with the anti-immigration.
Wow.
Oh shit.
Wow. Can we just backtrack real quick? He's anti-immigration.
It's like a win and a loss. I'm confused. Shout out for being Black in the Senate, but then you gotta fight other Black people's.
But he's an immigrant.
No, but I think the laws that they have for immigration needs to be changed. It's not as bad as here. He's not a Donald Trump where we're building a wall type of thing.
It's like a double agent.
Yeah, essentially. So it's like putting laws in place to help immigrants, I should say.
I think if they would have known that, they probably wouldn't have elected his ass.
I think if we would have known that, we probably wouldn't have highlighted. Still, shout out to you, Tony, for being that Black guy in Italy doing those things.
No, but he actually wants to fight for the people.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because
maybe he's thinking about decreasing the, if it's a real tough immigration laws there, maybe he's thinking about getting rid of some of those things.
Well, yeah, because the basic thing that he said that I read was he want people to have a place to call home. Mm-hmm. So I think he wants to more so ban immigration, more so becoming a citizen.
hard as Americans moving to other countries? Is it hard for us to get citizenship in other countries?
I don't think it is. I think it's harder to come to America than it is to go over there. Because, like, once you give up your citizenship, it's really hard to have a dual citizenship. Yeah. But it's easier for you to become a citizen somewhere else than it is to become a citizen of the United States. And that's why you have, like, a green card and stuff over here. Like, they don't have that over there like that. Like, if you want to give your citizenship to come fuck with us, come. You know, I know, like, Switzerland and Sweden, like, they actually want, like, in New Zealand, pay people to give up their citizenship in America to move there. So there's different things in place. We just don't know because we are so stuck on America's dick. But it's like, there's so many nicer places to go and live and be happy. Free insurance, free tuition. You have, take maternity leave as long as you want without being fired. You don't have to go back to work. Your spouse can take maternity leave as well, so he can actually be a good father and raise his child. Like, there's so many different things that are in place that are outside of America. So travel and you'll learn and see different things. So for our panel discussion for this week, since we are in the month of March, I'm all about celebrating women because I'm a woman. So I want to celebrate PR Alliance, and I have Keisha and Mariah. Hi, guys.
Hi. We're one.
Right. You'll get that a lot.
And I also have a special guest, Mr. Morgan. Hi, Morgan.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey.
So thank you, everyone, for joining and being here today. The special news about this is Keisha is my little cousin, and I am so proud of her.
Thank
I haven't
you.
seen her in like forever because she's too busy, but just to see your growth and everything you've accomplished, I am super proud.
You. I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. Thank you. Of course we will. So they actually have their own PR company, and a lot of people do not know what the hell PR means. For the special people, it means public relations. And so can you break down what that actually entails?
Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. So in layman's terms, public relations is just bringing exposure to your brand, period. So whether that means getting you more interviews, media placements as far as like television interviews, or this right here is an interview for them to get them exposure. It's literally getting you exposure.
Okay. So what would be the difference between a PR person and a marketing person?
Yeah, so marketing is more so based on sales.
Okay.
So that is directly tied to monetary value. That is not our primary focus. Our primary focus is making sure that people know about you, they're aware about your brand, and then the sales comes with it after a while, but that's not our focus.
Okay. So how long have you guys been doing this?
So separately, we've been doing public relations since we left college, so 4 years ago for both of us, right? Mm-hmm. And then for our business, we just started actually the end of 2016.
Oh, good. That's amazing.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
We learned a lot, and we realized, you know, after having a conversation about our experiences, we're like, why aren't we merging together all these talents? Because what a lot of people may or may not know is Keisha and I have complementary backgrounds. So Keisha has a strategic communications perspective while I bring media relations. So what makes our company so different is we're two CEOs who have complementary backgrounds to provide our client with the best service.
That is amazing. I love this. Two women of color just kicking ass.
Yes.
We're trying.
For sure.
So, like, when you deal with your clients, like, how do you vet them? Do you turn people away? Like, is it come one, come all?
Do we?
Yeah. I mean, we definitely turn people away, and it's not to say that their brand isn't great, but it has to really align with what our brand is too, because not only are we a representation of you, you're a representation of us. So when you go out in public and you're like, oh, these are my publicists, we want to be able to confidently say that we uphold your brand in a positive light, and vice versa, right?
Right.
We want to be able to say, that's our client, without being like, that's our client. So, yeah, we do turn people away.
Yeah. And another thing about that, a lot of people think they need PR.
Mm-hmm.
And you may email us and tell us about our brand, and on our call, we're like, actually, you don't need PR yet. Unfortunately, you're not ready.
Exactly.
Because I want to let everyone know, you know, public relations, it's a whole investment. So why invest your money in something you don't need yet?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's another reason.
That's a good quality because, you know, some people might just snatch your money up and say, hey, you know, we're going to put you on a couple gigs real quick. But being ignorant, like, you know, they have no idea, you know, what to expect. So that's good that you don't just bamboozle people and just take their cash and be like, you know what, I'm just giving like a YouTube thing real quick and then be like,
It definitely has to be mutually beneficial. Definitely.
Yeah. If your brand's not ready and I can't get you media exposure, that doesn't look good on me, right?
We're not taking the fun. We're not going to take the fun.
That's why.
When you do get clients, what advertising tools do you use? Like, do you use social media? Is there any social media that you won't use?
Oh, no. Well, I'm not going to say... So LinkedIn is a social media platform that we don't focus on. But other than that, I mean, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of it,
And word of mouth.
Yeah, that's very important.
Especially when we are able to secure placements and things like that. And just our reputation. We're always out. We're mixing, mingling. We're networking even when I'm not trying to. So word of mouth is really how we get a lot of our clients.
Yeah.
So what is the turnaround time to building exposure for someone?
Well, it depends, but we don't take on a client for less than 3 months.
Okay.
Because,
typically that's when you'll be able to see your results after 3 months. So it might not be, you know, reaching the expectation that you want to, like your long-term goals, but you'll be able to see a difference in your brand within the 3 months.
Okay.
Which is a good question. I'm glad you asked that because we talk about all the time how public relations is not a microwavable business. So people normally come to us and they think, okay, well, you're going to make me, quote unquote, pop in real soon, right? So they're looking at us like it's been 3 weeks, it's been 4 weeks, it's been 6 weeks. And we're like, really? So I'm glad you asked that question.
How do you guys network? Like, is it like, do you host parties? Do you have, you know, do you plan events? Do you go to other events, you know, with your clients in mind?
We do everything. I mean, for one, we have a lot of friends. Like, we've been around the industry for about 5 years now, right? And the people we've grown up with. So we already have that network. So we're already getting invited to the regular events that maybe you're going to, too. But the only thing about me is I'm upselling my business all the time.
Right.
I'm like, hey, how you doing? How are you? I'm a publicist. What do you do? And we're already talking. So I'm networking like that. I mean, we can go to the bar. Keisha laughs at me sometimes because one drink... And I already noticed that I'm upselling my business. I'm like, hey, here's my business card. I'm so quick to whip it out. So, yeah, I mean, networking, just conversations, always out.
Yeah. So as far as, like, what is your favorite clientele? And I know that's a little tricky to ask, but do you prefer people who are, like, up and coming? Or do you feel like someone who already kind of has, like, an established brand but maybe needs some revisements or upgrades?
Well, I mean, those who already have a more established brand, of course, it's a little easier, right?
Yeah.
Because they've already come with that foundation. But up and coming is what we often take. So I don't know if I have a preference, really. I like the idea of onboarding a lot of up and coming artists or clients simply because we're able to be with you pretty much from the ground up and to see your development and to see your growth. But either way.
Yeah, I don't think I have a preference either, and I could agree. But really, I look for a type of client. We both do. We always have conversation about someone who's hungry, someone who's willing to invest, and someone who has patience. Because we aren't interested in is you asking us for help but not listening.
Right.
Oh, and it happens so often.
And you'll be surprised. You'll go into it and you're like, I know exactly what I want. I'm going to let you handle it. You got it. You got the expertise. Then we're like, ooh, you need to change that. And you're like, why? I love that. I want to post on my page.
And then it's like, you spend all this money on us, and then you don't want to listen to us, so what?
What's the point?
So now we're here. So we just look for a certain type of client more than that brand.
Now, as far as, like, because I know people who are writers, like, have publicists in that aspect, and you have people who are musicians, you know, rappers, singers, and stuff like that. So what branch do you see yourself more so working with? Do you see yourself dealing with more like the artistry side, or do you see people more with the business side who are aspiring writers and stuff like that?
Well, the goal is everybody, right? But right now, our primary focus is entertainment. So we originally, when we developed the business, we called ourselves an entertainment public relations firm. Recently, we've branched into lifestyle clients. So lifestyles like chefs or bloggers, fashion, that type of thing. So, I mean, the goal is everybody, but entertainment is pretty much where our whole niche is.
Okay. So I know you guys are dealing with a lot of male clients, and you guys are really beautiful. So how do you deal with balancing personal and professional?
Luckily, we have not run
I was
into
gonna say,
any
we have-
situations that have put us in compromising positions.
Okay.
I think one thing that we lead with is like, you have to respect us.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, Keisha and I are very friendly. We're very personable. We're real, like, you know, we could be your homegirl 1 minute in the group text, but then with business, it's like, all right, now we're switching.
Right.
It's time to be serious. So, I mean, unfortunately, we haven't had any compromising situations, but
Yeah.
I think we get a lot of respect from our male clients.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to Mariah's point, because they see that on and off switch, that we can be so friendly, and then when it's time for business, we're like really business. I think that's why we don't have that problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're almost like, okay, let me not. Even if they want to, right?
Yeah.
They're like, okay, let me not do that. They're serious, so.
What are some difficult things that you face when working with a client? Like, is it like some people are late, or some people just don't have that drive? What are some difficult things that you guys experienced thus far?
So many difficult
I
things.
know. You can see our face, we're like, where do we start?
I'm like, where do we start? So I would say that we already touched bases on the not listening part, right? And then we will have a type of client that is really bad at communication. So they'll have so many things going on and forget to circle back with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we feel sort of out of the loop on what they're doing, which is really bad for us, because how can we help bring exposure to what you're doing if we don't know what you're doing?
Right.
So that's a type of client that's pretty hard. What else?
I don't know. I kind of think that's like the most difficult
Yeah.
part, because that's really everything we do.
And then, like I said, the one
Right.
that thinks that public relations is a microwavable business,
Yeah.
because we have that a lot, more than necessary, and they'll just be like, okay, what are we doing now? What are you doing now? And like the micromanaging one, and where we have to sit and say, are we communicating enough with you? You know, in a professional way, like, let us show you what we're doing next, type of thing. So, yeah.
And on the opposite side of that, someone who's a good client, you guys, thrive off of communication. So if communication is the key, then you just want someone that is very thorough in terms of what they, because this is, and in all actuality, this is their brand. This is
Right.
Exactly.
That's their baby.
So
Yeah.
they should want to be very much involved with you guys as much as possible.
Exactly. And then someone who trusts us,
Yeah.
right? So on the opposite side of that micromanager, we're going to always communicate with you and trust and believe that you're always at the forefront of everything that we're doing, but you just have to trust and you have to believe that while we're communicating to you what we're doing. So
Awesome.
So I think everyone wants to be a singer, a rapper, a fashion blogger. And so what do you say to the people who want to hire you guys? Like, can you give a little outline of what the process actually would be if someone who want to invest in the PR Alliance?
So on our website, we have a contact form, or
Okay.
people reach out to us on social media. But what we offer is a free 30-minute discovery call to everybody. I mean, even if we could kind of tell, if you email us some things, and if we can kind of cut it before the call and be like, hey, you're not ready, or we can refer you to someone, we'll do it that way. But we offer everyone a free 30-minute discovery call. And in that call, we learn about your brand, we tell you about our business, and we kind of see if we're able to fit in.
Okay.
And from that call, we'll all know, if it's a good fit.
Okay.
yeah, and I would recommend, before even jumping on a call with us, to really research what public relations is. So you can decipher for yourself before you even come to us, is this something that I need? Or do I need a manager? Or do I just need a content specialist? Or whatever it is, just make sure it's us that you need, or public relations that you need first.
Okay. Because I feel like people might have called you because I want to get more followers. I want
all
to get
the time.
Oh,
man.
gosh.
You talk about a microwavable business. People call us to say, I have 2,000 followers and I want 10K.
Wow.
Okay, get them. I mean, it's okay, what do you want me to do? It's like that, or it's the DM that I get almost once a week is, can you get me verified on Instagram?
Yeah.
Do you
Hate
guys
it.
get people verified just to?
We can.
We
Publicists
can.
can.
Yeah.
Publicists can. But I'm not just gonna.
But the thing about the
me.
followers thing is okay, like you said, they want to go from 2K to 10K in a week, and it's so go buy them. Because organically, with what we do in the business, everything's organic. So it's about your audience engagement, it's about the networking, it's about all of those organic elements that will eventually
You have to
increase
be
your
attractive.
followers.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, that will eventually increase your followers, but if you want them next week, go buy them.
Yeah, really.
Because you need what? 100K or something?
do what?
To be verified. How many people do you actually need?
Oh,
that's
no,
not it.
that's not. Sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So really, they base it on primarily what they're looking at now is how many media placements more so that you have. So what platforms have you been on that are speaking about you? Have you been on television outlets? Are there notable articles that are writing about you? That type of thing. That's what they're focusing on right now.
Okay.
I think when they first started, I think the followers thing was a thing. But I think what they're catching on to is that people are grabbing that like it's nothing. So now it's like, okay, where have you actually been featured? Who's actually talking about you?
Yeah. We got to care about you in order to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as like being publicist, when you work with your client, what is the end goal? So let's say if this person does get the exposure that they need, let's say if they blow up, how do you continue that relationship with them? Because I know some people who are actors, actresses, and artists who still have the same publicist from day one. Mm-hmm. So how do you have that continuation for them?
Well, publicists do a lot of different things. The biggest thing about being a publicist is crisis management, risk management. Mm-hmm. A good example, unfortunately, everyone has to keep using him, but Chris Brown's publicist should never lose her job or his job. Her job. Yeah, because there's always something, you have to make sure that your brand, no matter what, is in a positive light. And that's what a publicist does. Whether it's we're getting you your red carpet appearances, we're making sure that you're on time and things like that. Making sure that, yes, you're still in the media. Like Beyonce doesn't do any interviews.
No, she doesn't.
But there's a reason.
Right.
Her publicist is behind everything that she does. Her publicist is probably behind every social media post. You see her, so
and
her
to that point, behind everything that she does and doesn't do, that's a strategy in itself.
Absolutely.
So publicists really have a lot of jobs, especially when you're quote unquote more popping. Everyone likes to use that word.
So how do you handle those moments where you have to be Olivia Pope? Because I'm reckless, so I would think about things that I would do, and if I had a lot of exposure, I would probably be calling y'all right away. Mm-hmm. So how do you handle, those type of situations where you got to wear your white hat?
I think Keisha is actually like Superwoman when it comes to
really?
Yes, because sometimes I be like, what? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I get real homegirlish on you behind closed doors, and I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Because now you've done stressed me out. Then,
which is why I think you're good at it. I mean, the thing about it is you have to be, in those instances, you have to be really stern with your client. Like, okay, I'm not your friend. We're not joking now. Like, seriously, this is a thing. And I think I use like a this or that concept, meaning like if you do this, that means you need to be okay with that. Okay, right. So if this is what you want to do, that's fine, and we'll be behind the scenes strategizing how to make you come back from it. But you have to understand that it's going to either be you do this and you're going to get the consequence. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, and it happens a lot. You wouldn't even know.
So, like, what methods do you guys use to, like, grow with your customers and help develop their, like, public, like, figure, I guess you would say?
Well, our methods are really tailored. So we can't really give you a cookie cutter type of response to that because it's really going to be based on where you are with your brand, your individual vision, because, I mean, Sarita can be an artist and you can be an artist and have two different visions, goals, and paths to get there. So methods aren't really the same. It's a personalized thing. So that's why we do host these discovery calls. We do get real interpersonal with you. So, yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So if I had like a sex scandal, how would you clean that up?
Well, number one, did you want the sex scandal? I mean,
really. Surprise.
Because I mean that could be a strategy in itself.
It is.
I mean, honestly, so it's like, what is your brand? Did you want the sex scandal? And if you didn't, then we would come up with strategies to come back from whatever the heck you just did. But it really depends on your brand. Everything's so I think that's the thing about our questions. Like, they're so tailored to the brand that we can't really give you a generalized answer for it. So if you wanted to be a sex scandal, I mean, shoot.
Yeah,
I mean, that's your thing.
We know a couple people who've been involved with a couple of things that are a little questionable on the PR side. Yeah. But we know that at the end of the day, it brought them exposure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, if you can end up on the shade room for a good 24 hours,
That's
you know what I mean?
We gotta make it work now.
Yeah,
How
now
do we
what?
make this news work? How do we make
exactly.
this
And the
happen?
thing about it is, like, the first step in crisis management. So, if you did not want to be this whole sex type of person, and something accidentally got leaked or whatever, the first thing in crisis management is to respond. Like, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, just let my audience go crazy and go whatever, think whatever they want to. You do have to respond. But you definitely need us to help you respond, because some people just jump out there and be like, y'all, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. That's not a response.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised, like, there are different kinds of responses. So, you know, the whole Beyonce, Jay-Z, the cheating scandals. Beyonce didn't post on her page like, he's not cheating, y'all.
Right.
Or he cheating, y'all.
Right.
She responded in her music.
Exactly.
So there is a way to respond. It just, and our job would be how do we respond.
Exactly.
From your PR standpoint, right? How would you guys have handled the whole alleged sex tape with if Black China was your client? What would you advise her to do? How would you guys handle that? Would she had? Because I haven't heard a public response from.
No, I haven't.
From Black China.
I just
It's
heard
really
Lisa Bloom.
funny. It's really funny because on the other side, you want to say something? Oh, because on the other side, we're friends with Michi, so it's like we have like this other thing. But what were you gonna say?
Michi, that's the light skinned guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I went to a party that he
Scoot over.
hosted. Is he still in that boy band?
No,
situation?
right now he's solo.
Oh wow,
He's killing it. Yeah, his fan base has grown so much. He's super talented.
I met
Shout out
him
to Michi.
a while ago when he was just before he left here and moved to like California.
He's still out here. Sometimes, he's back and forth. He's everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Depends on the week.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you guys answer that?
No, they did not.
You said, nah, because you're friends with Michi, I'm just not going to get that.
No.
It's okay. It's okay, Michi. It's okay.
No, we love Michi. I mean, from Black China, I personally don't feel as if there's really a solution to her problem because it's repetitive. So at this point, it's a thing.
Right.
So I don't really know if there's a solution to her problem because I think it's a part of her branding.
Yeah, at this point, it's a part of her brand.
I feel like it's an easy fix. Get on top of it. Say, hey, listen, this foolishness got out. Yeah, it was me. It's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody would be like, all right, that's
because
Black China
it's Black
shit.
China. But if you were Beyonce and something crazy like that happened, it's not like just get over it.
Beyonce, if something happened like that, Beyonce and her lawyers.
Oh yeah,
they'll be in everybody's city. Like
Exactly.
nobody would even want to post it because they're getting sued.
Right.
Don't even worry about it.
I wouldn't even watch it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because you probably get sued for being probably get
right.
locked up
Don't
for
want my
watching
eyes
it.
tainted in that way.
You'll probably get a computer virus or something.
But
This shit will explode.
Sex sells, so. I don't know.
So is it possible anything can be fixed? Do you have that motto in mind? Anything can be fixed?
Fixed
is a strong word. Yeah,
I was gonna say, what if somebody murdered someone?
Yeah, no.
Fixed is a very strong word. We can always ensure that we can communicate it and we can find some type of positivity in it, but can it be fixed completely? That's going to depend. Okay. That's really going to, and like you said, if somebody murdered someone, that's gonna be a tough one. I'm not sure we can fix it, but we'll be able to probably keep the fans that are like, but he's still okay. Like, we'll be able to keep them.
Keep posting the greatest hits.
Yeah, they're
the R. Kelly fans of the world.
Exactly. But
because R. Kelly PR person must be freaking stressed.
I thought you said keep R. Kelly's PR.
Oh no.
Probably on Amazon.
Oh God, that's so funny.
I'm so mad with R. Kelly right now, but that's a different story.
Oh please!
Isn't everyone?
His publicist is getting paid a lot of money.
What do you do now?
Hopefully.
Well, he had those girls trapped in the basement or locked in the closet.
Why do 18-year-olds go to R. Kelly shows? Like that what blows my mind. Like with 18-year-olds,
his music is great.
His music is amazing.
It's just amazing. I mean, for me, it doesn't excuse what you have going on in your personal life, but it's still
probably don't even know who R. Kelly is. Like that's some legit facts.
There probably are some.
Is that a teachable moment, or is that because R. Kelly's too old for her?
Is
that because we're not playing?
Yeah, but R. Kelly, you shouldn't be listening to R. Kelly music because all of it is like about
shooting the club up.
Yeah. It's the remix to Ignition, you know?
That booty. I've never heard of a man Sing about ass.
I was a stand for Trapped in the Closet.
Yo, I remember like waiting on 92Q to like drop the other one.
Exactly.
It used to drop on 106 in Park. Like,
everybody would just be like sitting there waiting.
Like, I would be like,
that was like writing genius though. Like I've never seen anyone.
Sometimes just to get home to see.
I remember just like being outside listening to the radio with shout out to Brittany, and we would just be like listening to it, and like people would be like shh shh. Part 2 is about to come out. Shut up. Part 3 is what it was like. And although R. Kelly is like beyond disgusting, like I will never take away from his genius because he is a fucking genius. Like who would have thought to make Trapped in the Closet into a damn soap opera, with words? Like you don't. We've never seen Trapped in the Closet. Not once. We've seen that one video and that was it. But we've never.
I thought that I was missing something. Did it stop at 5? The video?
No.
It was all the way 20. I never could find.
Did it go all the way to
it did?
I mean, I know it didn't stop at 5, but I thought it was somewhere around
like they got stopped
10,
around like that time. Like 9, 10.
My favorite joint was when they went to the club, that little club part.
Y'all tweet us the Trapped in the Closet videos.
Yes, please. I have not seen them.
Serena don't get on Twitter.
Just text me or email me. I don't tweet.
Send us the link.
Yeah, I don't tweet whatsoever. But what would you say to people who want to get into your field? Because I know a lot of people who love networking with people and really want to help push people, but I think sometimes people are confused about the difference between being a marketing person and understanding what being a content specialist is. And what would you say people who are in a communications field and trying to like figure out what would be the best way to serve their purpose?
Well, normally when people say, I want to get into public relations, I go, are you sure? Do you for real? But I would say, public relations itself is a bunch of research. So kind of similar to the answer that I gave before, research this field, like for real. Research everything that we do, because I think a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about what it is itself. And so when they get into it, because we have interns now that are trying to be in our position, and I don't even think that they realize how much we really do, especially with social media now, because that wasn't a thing a few years. So like 10 years ago, that wasn't a thing. So publicists didn't have to worry about, what you were posting on social media, and that opens a whole new world of what our business does. So I would really say, just do your research, really. What would you say?
I would first say that you have to love the hustle and bustle. And the hustle and bustle in the sense of late nights and early mornings, okay? Because publicists don't really sleep. Now, of course we sleep. But when it comes to your clients, they can be on other sides of the world. Like, you have to be able to be by your phone. Like, you're always checking your email. You're always writing press releases, media alerts. You're creating media kits. You're doing a lot of things. So you have to love that hustle and bustle, and it has to drive you. Because for one, public relations is a very tedious job, and it's not for the weak. 2, you have to have some good writing skills, find some writing skills, or find a partner with some good writing skills. Because you have to pitch to media. And media gets 1,000 pitches. Like, the people you see on TV, a lot of people fought for that spot. So you have to be able to be creative and able to secure those placements. It's just a lot of background goes into it. So like Keisha said, do the research, but have a passion and drive for that stuff. Because you have to be able to go to events, and you have to be able to be told no.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with it.
And you have to be okay with it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And back to your point, I was just chuckling to myself, because back to your point where you're like, it's not for the weak. We can't even go to a lounge by ourselves and just enjoy the night. We're in lounges doing press releases on our phones, through Google Docs. It's really just
we have Google Drive on our phone.
We're always working, so it's not for the weak.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say, do you really? You better know that you want to do this.
Yeah.
So let me just give some scenarios for people, because some people are slow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to name a couple of things that people will be interested in, and you guys are going to respond yes to that's for PR, or no, that's not for PR.
Okay.
Let's get it.
Okay. So if I want to perform at Madison Square Garden, yes, I go to a PR person or no?
borderline. And the reason why I'm going to say borderline, I was supposed to only give yes or no, right? Okay, sorry. The reason why I would say borderline is because if that's your end goal, no. Like, if that's a one-stop shop, like, I just want to perform there and that's it, then no. But if you want the media coverage around it, afterwards you want to be able to engage with your fans, you want to help us build a social media campaign around it, now that's PR. But if your goal is to be like, can I pay them $7,000 to perform, and then that's the end of your story? No. I'll get a booking manager.
Or know the promoter.
Okay. If I have a manuscript for a book, and I want to pitch it to different publications. Yes, PR or no?
Yes.
With a manuscript? To pitch to editors?
I mean, they're not going to give us the manuscript, and we're going to pitch the manuscript.
Oh, right. Yeah, make sure.
Yeah.
So, manuscript?
They're not going to give it to us. But no,
would you read the manuscript, though? Like, would you, like, read it?
Yeah. We have to, kind of,
we
because,
do.
I mean... If it's long, I mean, we don't have to read. I mean, we have to get the
synopsis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we have to get the
one.
basic understanding of what it is about, because we can't effectively pitch it to someone else, and they ask us a question. We're like, we don't even know what he's talking about.
When it comes to the book tour, I will tell you what a publicist does for that.
Okay.
Oh, I just said it. A book tour. You get your book done. You do your publications. You talk to your editor. You get your book printed. It's in your hand. Now we're going on a book tour.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Okay. So if I am an up and coming artist and I already have my CD available, well, it will be streamed, but I wanted to go on a small local tour, do I contact you guys or no?
Manager.
Yeah, when you say tour, is it like a press tour? So is it like a...
Like performance tour. Like, let's say if I want to...
Oh, that's your manager.
Manager.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I have a situation where I do have a manager, but I want to, let's say, I want to be on NBC.
Okay. Yeah. We can do that.
You can do that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they want you.
You do.
That's the thing. If they want
pitch
you,
you.
we can pitch you. If they want you, then yeah. That's the other thing. We didn't even talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because that's another annoying thing. Didn't you ask a question about something about something? Anyway. Something along the lines of what's annoying. So, what's really annoying is that we have all of these resources. So we have the contacts at NBC, we have the contacts at BET, wherever we have the contacts for. But if we pitch you, so this is our job. Our job is to pitch you in an effective way where we would hope that they pick it up. Now, if they're just not interested in you because that's just not the type of theme that they're going for the month or the week, or they're just not interested in your brand in general, they're not going to pick you up. And we don't want you looking at us like, I thought you said I was going to be on NBC. What I said, what we do is we take your brand and we package it up and we pitch it to that outlet. And if they say no,
there's nothing you can do at that
exactly.
point.
And people just think that we're the ones that's like, hey girl, NBC, just put them on there, all right? And that's it. And then they're on. That's not what it is.
But
so
just know that we work very hard and we are successful with media placement.
Yeah, very successful, but it's not guaranteed. Exactly.
Do you have any statistics as far as that goes?
As far as how many media placements per client
or place?
Let's
go. Psych. TNC.
I mean, we can give you a list. I don't think we can give you like percentages, but we can give you a list.
I was just curious, like if someone came to you with that, you have the experience now to say, you know, I don't really think NBC's a good fit for you, but here, let's go this route.
Absolutely. We do that all of the time because, I mean, if you're an up-and-coming artist and you want to be... What was that publication that one of our clients was trying to be on? We were like, are you serious? But anyway, so basically, if you're an up-and-coming artist and you really don't have any buzz right now and you want to get on one of the top publications that's only pushing through, like Beyonce and
that's
Issa Rae or something, that's unrealistic. And we'll go, okay, we need to reroute you.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you guys create buzz?
Yeah.
So if I have no sauce, and I come to you with whatever, I want.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much our job to create the exposure so you get the buzz.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Because what people have to realize is there are way more people like you than there are.
Yeah.
There are not.
Right.
So what makes you different? That's our job.
So like, exactly. What about the scenario like where you have a label, like a big industry label like Beyonce's that we're so for say, and they're actually interested, or like they're looking at you per se for artists that's not really big or like has a big buzz like that. So you guys will be able to package it and basically send it off to them or to get in reach with them, or
in order for them to be signed.
Yeah, like around that, or
well, typically something like that would be for a manager. It kind of just depends. It's case by case. I mean, there could be an instance where, for instance, we have a lot of connections at Interscope. If we had someone we were really passionate, we packaged them up. They got some good media coverage. They got a little buzz going right now, and this label needs to see them. Then we would go the extra mile to do that. But essentially, something like that to get you signed, that's not our job. That's their manager's.
Now, if they come directly to us, like info@theprlines.com, and they want our client because they saw our client featured on our page or whatever, then of course, now we're the responders because you came directly to us. But
you see that shameless plug she did?
info@theprlines.com.
So as far as like people who have smaller businesses, so let's say they want to do like a grand opening and they want a really big press release.
We love those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we were just saying that the other day. We're like the event publicists of the DMV. Like, I mean, I swear, when people come to us about events all the time, more than anything, more than being just like a full service client, it's events. Like, I'm doing this event. I need more exposure to the event. Like, that's.
And you guys can do that without taking the responsibility of them bringing on like being a full client?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. We offer that as like a separate service. So we do event planning and project management. And if you are a full service client and say, for instance, you wanted to do a listening party, then that is just kind of already included. So it's a thing we do. But if you're just coming to us for a listening party, we'd be like, oh, okay, great. But the thing about event PR with us is we don't, we take anybody. Like, you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to just be fashion. Like, you can just be.
Yeah.
Just be.
Last question. So as far as like working with, let's say if you are a artist and you have a manager and you have they have a marketing person, do you guys work well with them? Like, are you in communications with them as well? And the artist, or?
I think it depends.
I was going to say that. Go ahead.
You want to get? Okay. We do that a lot. Sometimes we'll end up saying the exact same thing, and it's like, okay, great. But no, it just depends. It depends on, for one, what's going on, how well the team works together. And it's important to have a conversation at least to establish roles. Because a lot of things sometimes can kind of cross and lines can get a little blurred, especially with PR and manager. Like, sometimes a manager will do something that we would do and vice versa. So I think it's an establishment of roles, and then, kind of just depends from there.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, like, the most important piece about that is making sure everyone stays in their lane. Like, everyone. But it's easy to cross, right? Because people still to this day don't know the difference between a publicist, a manager, a marketing specialist. So in a lot of the things that we do kind of share responsibilities in a way. So we just have to really define the roles in order to work effectively. Because we've had situations where it's like, okay, you're stepping on my toes a little bit. Like, how do we do this? So,
and we've also had a lot of great experiences.
Exactly.
That create, like, really great relationships and with managers. Exactly. And sometimes we want to call the manager. And,
Exactly.
Get it done real quick. Like,
I would rather that sometimes. Like, if we could just work with the manager or whoever's on your team, because I really believe in, like, you hired us to take some things off your plate. Because as an artist, if you don't have their team, you were doing that all by yourself, right? So you hired us to take those things off your plate. So if you have a manager that we can effectively work with and we can call them instead of calling you to get some last minute things done, that would be perfect.
Perfect. So although you guys are based in Maryland, you can take clients from anywhere.
Wherever. Yeah.
That is good. So what is the best way to contact you?
info@theprlines.com. But also our Instagram, so @theprlines.com on Instagram and Twitter. Our website. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I do that all the time. If it's Instagram and Twitter, it's not a .com. So Instagram and Twitter @theprlines, and then our website www.theprlines.com. And then send us an email, info@theprlines.com.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Our name. Google us. We'll pop up somewhere.
Google me, baby.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, you guys, for joining the show. I appreciate it.
Thank
Keisha,
you for having us.
And anyone who would enjoy doing PR, I would definitely say reach out to them.
Yeah.
Keisha's always been a little runner ever since she was like a child.
I can believe
little
that.
runner. She's always been back and forth, so I know for sure whoever her clientele is, they are definitely in good hands. So
thank you.
Yes.
I love the plug. Shameless plug.
We're accepting new clients and interns. So
yes, and
yes.
interns.
You need more interns?
Oh yeah. I mean, we have 3 now.
Okay.
They're great, but
for the summer.
yes.
Oh, just for summer interns?
Yeah, we're looking for the summer now.
We have a lot of things going on.
Okay, and then they can just reach you the same way.
Yep.
Email. Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you guys.
No problem. Thank you.
Yes. So for our Ask to Read this week, Numa emailed me and said that she went out with some friends from her high school, and she's really not a partier, and she suffers from social anxiety, but she decided to go out to the bar anyway. She was very uncomfortable since they kept begging her. She decided to do it, and when she got there, she shortly left and slightly had a panic attack. But she is contemplating her friendship with the girls. So I would personally say, don't cut them off. Because if your friends don't know about your social anxiety, it's not fair to them to just say, fuck them.
I agree. I actually think that, one, if these are the friends that you chose in your life, you know what I mean, those friends should support you, and they should understand.
Absolutely.
After you let them know, you know, they should understand your situation, and they should offer you, you know, support. And I also think that you should definitely seek whatever counseling that you may need in terms of getting yourself, and because it's not a tool, it's not a thing to be. You don't have to be social, but it's an important tool. It's important just for growth when creating new friendships and partnerships. It's important to kind of like be okay enough to share space with a bunch of people.
Absolutely. And I also feel like you got to give people the opportunity to change.
Yeah.
You can't just feel some kind of way about something and you don't allow people to know what the issue is, because I feel like it discredits their character because you don't give them the opportunity to fix their ways. Yeah. And so next time, if they're really your friends, they'll say, hey, let's just go get brunch, or, you know, let's kind of tailor you so we can enjoy each other but still feel comfortable. Yeah. So, Numa, I don't think you should cut your friends off. I do think that you should have communication with them because,
okay.
Yeah.
So, I also have I would say I'm recovering, but recently getting over generalized anxiety disorder. So that also encompasses social anxiety.
Yes.
And if I were to give advice, number one, like you guys said, don't cut your friends off. Number one, because of their lack of understanding. And it's not that they, you know, are pressuring you to do that because they don't care about you. It's just that they don't understand what that really means. Like social anxiety, like what is that really? And I think that was my hardest part of understanding, or helping my friends understand what it really feels like to be in my position and what that really means. So that's number one. Don't cut them off. Help them understand.
Absolutely.
And then number two, I think people that don't have social anxiety or don't have anxiety don't really offer this advice, but because I have it / am getting past it, I'm able to tell you, do it. Like, whatever you're afraid of doing, just do it. Because ultimately, and I guess that's something that everyone knows, right? When you're afraid of something, the only way to get through it is to actually do whatever you're afraid of.
And
that constant repetition of doing it is what's going to put you at ease. Yeah. So, yes, you'll have those days where you're like, okay, well, I don't want to go here. Can we just go to brunch and not the club or something like that? But there's some days, like, if you really want to overcome this, where you have to say, I'm going to be so uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right. You know, because that putting yourself back in your comfort zone feels great, but it ultimately delays your process. Yeah. So, I mean, do it afraid. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not a clubber, but I don't mind being social. So you just got to understand, like, what space is really for you. Is it the type of people that's in these certain areas, or is just the people in general? Because that will separate you from the anxiety. Because it's like, I don't want to go shake my ass in a hot ass club with a whole bunch of thirsty Tatianas all night. But I do enjoy a nice lounge with some drinks. People are still there. People are, you know, it's still people being social. It's just the climate is completely different.
I'm super social though.
We know.
Really social. Because I do have friends that don't like, you know, those kind of environments. I don't like, I'm not like, my club days are gone. But hey, if someone invites me to a club and if you have a table, of course we'll go.
Yes, please have tables.
Please have a table, guys. If you go to the club with 6 people, there's no reason why you guys should be standing in the midst of a bunch of people.
No.
But so I do have friends that don't like being in those crowded, you know, crazy places. So it is completely understanding. Since I have sauce, since I have so much sauce, I find those places that's just good enough. That's so great for me, but also really, really comfortable for my friends. So, like, if you are that social friend and you have someone that's uncomfortable being in those crazy spaces, you know, offer an alternative. You know,
absolutely. Don't be
flexible.
selfish.
If you're as social as you think you are, you should definitely have a place in your pocket for your friend.
Absolutely. So, Numa, don't cut them off. Just have a real conversation with them and give them the opportunity to become more flexible to whatever it is that you're going through, and seek the help that you need, because as Keisha was saying, that it's not normal to feel that way. You might think it is, but it's not, you know, and a lot of times we blame it on our personality, but it's not a personality thing, it's a disorder. Yeah. And so we have to be able to differentiate the two.
And don't be afraid to get help, guys.
No, please don't. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think we all need help.
We fuck yes.
Therapy saves lives.
Yes, all the time. If somebody could just reach out and touch you, just one. If you can just reach out and touch somebody special. Yes. So, Numa, I hope everything works out for you, and please be honest and be open, and just please communicate, because that is what's really going to create change within your friendship. So, for our words of wisdom this week, it is never too late to be what you might have been. And that is by Mary Evans, who was a novelist, a poet, and a journalist. She was one of the lead writers of the Victorian era. She went by the name of George Eliot, which is her pen name, to ensure her work would be taken seriously, because around that time, women can only write light-heart romance novels, and she wanted to be taken seriously as a writer. And I think this quote is so important, because I think we get so distracted about how old we are. We get distracted about the things that we should have done in our past, and it delays us from being who we are in the future. And if you think about Oprah, when you think about Bill Gates, when you think about all these billionaires, you know, shit didn't happen for them in the late 20s, some people 30s, you know. When you think about Einstein, all of these people, they didn't arrive to certain things until later on in life. So you can't be distracted by, oh, well, you know, when I was 18, you know, I should have. Those moments have passed, but what has happened is that you've gained experience, you've gained knowledge. And right now, in this moment, as I'm speaking to each and every one of you, whatever the fuck you don't want to do because you're too scared, just do it. And you'll be surprised how many doors will open. You'll be surprised, and you'll look back and you're just like, damn it, I should have just did that shit years ago. But it doesn't matter, because you're doing it now. So don't ever be afraid of what you should have been, because you still can do it. If you still have breath in your body, every day, each day, you can work towards something that you love. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this week. Please visit PR Alliance if you want a publicist. Maybe I'll get a publicist. I don't want my porn tape out there. I'm joking. I'm joking. I have a porno out there. Jordan? I'm joking.
Keep it on the low. Don't tell anybody. It's not out.
Unless you read it.
Right, it's not out yet.
Again, if I'm ready to be Kim Kardashian, I know who to call.
Yeah,
absolutely. Got you.
Thank you guys, and this is Bitch Let's Talk. If you can't get enough of the Bitch Let's Talk, you can always follow us on IG and Facebook at BLT Podcast, and on Twitter at Bitch Let's Talk. If you want more content and updates on the show, you can always go to our website, bltpodcast.com.